Well, I was chairman of a committee, general committee, when Emily came, and so we were thinking, oh, let's see, what's this young lady going to be able to do for us? And I had talked to the district superintendent because he was telling us that we were getting a new preacher. And I said, oh, my. And he said, listen, you're going to love this young woman. She is really on the go.
Emily first came here, we all wondered, well, here's a really young minister with 2 young kids in tow. What's it going to be like? But boy, did we get fortunate.
I was excited to meet her because I was told that we had some common ground. So we actually got dinner together pretty quickly and got to know each other and became friends.
Hard to believe it's been 9 years since we showed up at the parsonage with that big old plate of brownies to give you to eat all by yourself there. But it was really great when we met you.
So I think the first time I met Emily in person would be at one of my DCOM interviews. She was the chair of the DCOM at the time, and she was just very welcoming to me and immediately made me feel comfortable. I felt like I had a friend there even though I had never really met her in person. She just has that ability to make you feel like you're her friend, just as you are.
I feel like if we could have said, this is what we want for our next pastor and outlined it, I don't think we would have done as well, right? God really knew who he was bringing to Skycrest. I mean, Emily was meant for Skycrest, and she let God just use her, and the evidence is all around us.
I came to her very many times in her first couple years with problems that I just couldn't handle myself. And she not only listened, but she acted on those situations that I had to help me out.
Emily is very caring. She cares about the people here at church. She cares about people out in the community. She finds ways to make us all better people.
How you just had no judgment. I felt kind of like an imposter a little bit. I told you about my background, and I just remember you saying, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with your background. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's good.
In the middle of the pandemic, Emily sent me an email out of the blue just because my behavior pattern had changed a little bit. I wasn't emailing her about things, I wasn't asking questions, I wasn't doing the things that I normally do. And she noticed this, and she emailed me to make sure I was okay. And of course I wasn't, none of us were. But that caring, that concern that she had for her flock just really, really touched me. I have never in my life had a pastor who would notice that and act on noticing that.
I think what a pastor really wants to know is, have they affected someone's life in a positive way? I can say most certainly you have affected ours in a positive way.
I'm very grateful that when I moved here 6 years ago, I found a home in this church, and Emily was very much a part of that.
You've done a great job here at Skycrest. You've been very creative. Everyone enjoys your energy.
Besides being a good minister, her energy level is amazing.
I love Emily because she's energetic, enthusiastic, and has a great sense of humor. I especially saw this when she went to Ohio and ran a marathon during the service here, and kept calling in or texting to let us know at what distance she was, and finally completed the marathon before our service was over, and everybody in the congregation clapped.
She just marvels at all she does. I mean, she takes care of her family and the things for the church and her business. She just has so many talents.
She's an excellent sermon giver. She has helped me a lot in that way just by listening to her on Sunday mornings.
So she's sharp, and she's creative, and she's such a good teacher. She teaches us about the Bible and Jesus Christ, and she's just a great well.
I kind of always knew, in my head that, doubt was something that happened, and that doubt was probably okay. But one of Emily's recurring themes in her sermons was always that we all have doubt, and God is big enough to handle our doubt, and God loves us despite our doubt. Our doubt is not a bad thing. Our doubt is just being human, and that's really okay. And Emily got that basically from my head to my heart, to the point now where I actually believe that, and that just means the world to me.
I've never been as proud as I am to say I'm a member of Skycrest as I have been the last so many years that Emily's been here, and we owe that all to her leadership.
I guess I would just want to say thank you to Emily for being an incredible boss and pastor, but also just a really good friend.
Pastor Emily, thank you for your leadership and for your timely and meaningful sermons. You are an amazing teacher, and you will be missed.
And I just wanted to say that I wanted to thank you very much for everything that you've done for all of us, the church.
Emily, we are grateful for you for connecting me to the Costa Rica missions projects,
your professorial sermons on history of religions, history of Christianity, and Methodism.
Pastor Emily, I know you have heard this all before, but I tell you, you have been a blessing for Skycrest. And I thank you, we all thank you for all you've done for us.
Thank you for always creating a safe space to be able to come to whenever anything was on my mind, or I just needed someone to lean on when I'm not feeling that strong.
Emily, I just want to thank you for being our pastor for all these years. You have been such an inspiration to all of us, and I wish you well as you go on your new path.
I wish you and your family the best. I am so grateful that our paths have crossed.
From my family to her, I wish her nothing but the best, personally, professionally.
Emily, I feel whatever you tackle, you are going to hit it out of the park, just as you have here every Sunday, every day of the week here at Skycrest.
You know, I told you that it did not take me long when I first met you, that I predicted you were going to be a DS. I just didn't know you were going to do it from us, but you did. And I wish you the very best of everything.
I knew, the Lord would have big plans for her, and I only wish her well. We'll miss her terribly, but I'm very excited for what's in store for her.
Oh, Emily's going to be great as a district superintendent. She's just going to be great because she has so much to offer people. I just wish all God's blessings on her, and I know that He's just going to use her in the very best way to do things in her talents. She is going to be working well with so many people. But she can do it. She can get things done. So I just wish her well and lots of love and God blessings to you.
I think God's going to continue to do amazing things through her. She's going to be that welcoming presence that I initially felt. She's going to be that for every candidate that comes through. Even though it might not be always fun to be the district superintendent, I feel like she'll bring a lot of positivity to it and constantly bring people back to what we're here for, what we're here to do, why we're going through the tough parts and why we're having these tough conversations. And, I think she's really going to keep everybody grounded and remind everybody that even though it's hard, we're doing what we're called to do.
And I am so grateful for everything that you've meant to me, everything that you do for Skycrest. It's been an amazing journey, and I can't wait to see what you do next, what you let God use you for with this district.
Thanks, Pastor Emily, for helping our whole church and learning about God.
Energy.
Role model.
Balanced. Caring.
Giving.
Spiritual. Approachable.
Skilled.
Brilliant. Smart.
Smart.
Hardworking.
Powerhouse.
Superhuman being.
Energetic and nonstop.
Dynamic.
Leader. Compassion. Family.
Welcoming.
Jack of all trades.
Kind. She's such a kind soul.